Hey, what's up? It's Amanda Scott, and you're tuning in to Black Girls in Media Conversation Series.
We have the one, the only Amanda Scott joining us on Black Girls in Media for our Media Conversation Series. She is a TV personality. You have seen her on HBO Max at Issa Rae production. Not everybody can say they did that, honey, okay? For Sweet Life, Los Angeles. She's also into real estate. We meant to mention that, and she's a PR professional. We're going to be asking all these questions for these gems you're going to bust down for us, okay? For us today, okay?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored, honestly.
Of course. Yes, you're doing your thing, girl. So before we start, we want to make sure we start off with our segment called I Am Black and Proud. So it's just an easy fill in the blank. You just say, I'm Black and I'm proud of. So Amanda, what are you Black and proud of?
I'm Black and I'm proud of the stories that Black people are telling currently. I think there's a lot of shows that are on major networks right now that are going crazy. Like, I think Stars is doing a really good job. I think HBO is doing a great job. And the creators from there, like 50 Cent, Issa Rae, I love Snowfall. Like, I'm really proud of the Black stories that are being told right now. So, and I'm a storyteller. Yes. Kind of.
Exactly. So we are excited for that. Thank you for participating in that. So we got to jump right in. You are from California, Inglewood to be exact. Graduated from Howard University in 2017 with a communications major.
Yes.
So I know you mentioned in one of your last interviews that Inglewood doesn't have HBCUs. So tell us about that experience attending an HBCU and why was that something that was imperative for you to do?
Yeah. For starters, Inglewood, California, the West Coast in general, we don't have HBCUs. I think just historically, they were born and bred kind of on the East Coast, and then they didn't really translate. I don't know on the West Coast. I really don't know. But for me, it was really important for me to go to a historically Black institution. I can remember 8th grade saying that I wanted to go to an HBCU and then kind of doubling down on that in 10th grade. In 8th grade, I really don't know what it was. I was just this is what I want to be on. In 10th grade, I went to a predominantly white high school. I went to El Segundo High School here in LA. And I was just this is cool, but this is not me. I didn't feel that I could be my true best, most authentic self in that space. And so I was I need, this is my path. Of course, I applied to state schools and some other private institutions, but I was team HBCU, period. And I remember having conversations with my friends from LA who ended up going to Howard as well. I'm going here, period. So y'all should apply. And they ended up applying and going and everything. So it was a really good experience for me. Since I've gone, I have 2 younger cousins who've gone to HBCUs. So I'm just happy to have been kind of pioneered that legacy in my family, because now it's really up and stuck with HBCUs.
Okay. No, I love that. I love that the HBCU experience, because I wanted to go to a HBCU and I ended up not going last minute.
Where'd you
I ended up graduating from Towson. So I went to a couple colleges, but I ended up graduating from Towson, which Morgan was right across the street, and that was the HBCU. And I was about to end up going there. And one of my sisters graduated from Towson. So long story short, I was okay, I'll go there. But I really did, because like you said, the experience, the people, our people, and being able to be around so many people that are going to be doing great things and networking and just feeling the vibe of that, just going to a basketball game or a football game and you got the cheerleaders or the dancers, it's giving every piece of vibe that you need to get. So if you are thinking about going to HBCU, please go. Do not go.
I'm a huge proponent of Black colleges. I went to Howard, but I'm a supporter of all Black colleges, even smaller ones. My younger cousin went to Bethune-Cookman. My cousin now is at Jackson State in Mississippi. just firmly believe it's where you can really become who you are. It's definitely like what made me who I am. There's a lot of pieces of me that were like bred at Howard. So I am like huge proponent, but it's nothing wrong with like going to a PWI either. Like I never try to like engage or, try to forward that like HBCU versus PWI trope. As Black people being educated, period, is a feat in itself. So I am for higher education.
I love that. I love that. Yes. And we have a lot of people stating that HBCU, yes, go. Someone else stated that they went and transferred from leaving an HBCU to go to another school, and they didn't really like that experience. But I'm glad that we're on this platform sharing that HBCU definitely go, because sometimes you hear certain things like, oh, well, you may not get hired. Because there's something, I heard that sometimes, but that's not true. So we need some people saying that, hey, I have great experiences. This is what I am doing. And look at what you're doing, graduating from Howard. Okay. So it's great to see Blackness and us as Queen shining.
Yeah, I think you have a better chance at getting Howard because the HBCU network is so large. Like it's expansive. Even if you didn't go to the same school, like just the fact that you went to an HBCU, like people remember your face, they remember your name. And a lot of HBCUs, there's a pipeline to a lot of like large, they go to HBCUs specifically to look for diverse talent. So I think that you have a better chance of getting a job, but who am I? I'm not a recruiter.
But yeah, so let's go. We team HBCU out here, yes. But let's first and foremost, again, I gotta congratulate you on being on an Issa Rae production. Like I said, not everybody can say they done did that in their resume. So congratulations on that. But I do have to ask you, how was that experience?
It has been honestly one of the best things I've ever done. Definitely like there's been no experience like it. It was really fruitful to like show up and tell the story of like my own community. I think that's really the best part, and that's why I really was like able to lean in, because it was like telling my own story, like I wasn't trying to tell the story of a different place or trying to, tap into some like other world. Like what we really were in our own communities with our real friends, like telling the stories of what we would be doing in real life. And so it was really rewarding working with Issa Rae. She made sure that we like looked amazing as far as like lighting and cinematography goes. She made sure that we highlighted like Black spaces in LA, Black restaurants, Black businesses. There was not a lot of like Black trauma, it was really a positive show. And that is really what made the experience what it was. Like she said she was rooting for everybody Black, and like she is doing just that. And I can't believe it. I'm just like proof, It's so crazy.
That is awesome to hear. Yes, yes. Now you raved about Issa Rae's production crew and how you love that it was an all Black / minority crew. So how was that experience being? This was your first time being on television, and this was the crew that got to bring that to life. How was that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's scary. Like it's hard to just show up and like put yourself out there and like be yourself with like cameras and lighting, and that people will watch and have an opinion. But a lot of the people in charge are people that looks like me, Black women, and they were always just really good at making sure we felt comfortable, making sure that we were being our authentic selves, making sure that we had a level of communication, and that like we could come to them when we felt uncomfortable about something, or if we felt a way about this or that. It was just a really, really great working relationship. That I honestly, like, I've had no other jobs like it. Like I never had any jobs where like everyone that I work with on a day-to-day basis, from lower level employees all the way up to, what would be considered C-suite, are Black, Asian, women, men, like people of color. I've never had a job like that. And so that is really what made the experience for me. And it's just exciting that we got picked up for season 2 officially today. So I'm just happy to be locking in with those same like group of people again and working with our amazing like production staff. Super excited to kick it off again with them. So yeah.
Oh, we are just congratulating on congratulations. Congratulations on that season 2. Okay. And it's
So
up. That
yes,
is listen, we got an exclusive because we didn't know that was going to be picked up for season 2 because I was going to ask you, but you didn't already bust it down.
yes,
Congrats,
yes.
congrats. That's excited.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in with us. Ty is in the comments. Hey Ty. I'm actually at her house right now. She upstairs.
Okay, that's best friend, right?
Yes.
Hey, best friend. So now, being on a reality TV show, what do you know now that you didn't expect or didn't know prior to actually being on television?
Um, I think that in reality, which is just something that I thought separately, uh, you they can make you do anything that you wouldn't do or that you like wouldn't do. Everything that you hear or see us do or say are like things that we do. Like the situations may be a little awkward or abnormal, but your reactions and how you show up is really all on you. And that was something that I kind of didn't know before. I thought like, they're telling them to say this or like they told them to say that. That is not true at all. Like we really are ourselves on there. At least on on my show. I can't speak on anyone else's, but that was really new. And then also just how many people it takes to produce a TV show and like how long
Yes.
it takes. We filmed for like almost 5-6 months, and if you binge it, you could finish it in like 4 hours. Like that's crazy to me. And it's not just them following you around all day. People ask me like, so is it weird just people following you around? I'm like, these people are not just like attached to my hip, y'all. Like it doesn't work like that.
Like they do have breaks, they do go to sleep, they do have lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is really demanding though. Like it's a huge time commitment, which that's something I definitely didn't know either. It just looks like so fun, but it's work for sure.
No, I love that you bring up the fact of what it takes to bring on a production because most people just see it, they binge it, and they're like, "Oh, that's it." Throw critiques out there, everything. So to hear that, to be something that you took away from that, that's really, really nice to see. But you're a storyteller yourself, so it makes sense for why you were able to key in on that factor.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
that's nice. Now we got to transition into your entrepreneurship, because you're just not a TV personality. And I want to bring up best friend Thailand and how she brought up legacy, Black legacy at that through a lot of the episodes, which I thought was so extremely dope.
Yeah.
But we're going to now talk about your legacy and what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Um, so let's get into your entrepreneurship bag. So real estate, I love the whole buy Black the block. I know everyone loves that. It's a catchy phrase.
You did it good. You said
Thank
it.
you. So I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about that. And you stated in an interview that I want to take back what's been stolen from us. That's the key. I like that. And you also want to buy Black and put equity back into Black communities. So
Yeah.
before we get into buy Black the block, because I still love this and we're going to elaborate on this, I first want to talk about you purchasing your first home in South Central California.
Yeah.
I loved how your parents made a debut on there and how they are just amazing, amazing parents and a foundation for you to be able to explore this different avenue in life and how much credit you give to that. But I also want you to bring up the fact of how did you start this journey with real estate and getting your home, and also how old you were? Because this is going to uplift people because very young in your 20s and you're buying a home in California and it costs money. So please elaborate.
It do. Well, thank you so much. First of all, I really appreciate that. Yes, I did. So I bought a house. It's about to be almost a year. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like a year ago around this time, I was stressed. Okay, like for not taking my offers. I like had so basically like the bank gives you the money and you have a certain
Mm-hmm.
amount of days to like find what you are looking for to spend the money. And I was like running out on my contingency period. It was a lot. um, but yeah, so I bought a house in South Central LA. It took a lot of sacrifices. One of the major ones for me was moving back home. I used to live in the Bay Area, moving back home and moving in with my parents just to lower my expenses, to cut back on rent. I stopped really like going out to dinner just to like save money because it really does like you do need liquid cash. You really, really do. I went to so many home buyer education programs in LA. Like I went until I remember going to the last one and being like, okay, I know all of these. Like I was saying what the person was going to say before they said it. And that's when I knew like, okay, I'm ready. I would definitely encourage anyone to tap in with whatever free resources they have locally. Do not pay nobody. Like people be scamming, and they will give you information that you can find with a quick Google search. Free information that they have, like some churches have them, some community centers have like homebuyer education workshops. They give you resources on like what you need for budgeting and saving, what you need for down payment, like where you can get free money from. So I went to like hella classes, like so many. And that was just because I was young and I'm a single girl. Well, not like single, but like I was buying it as I'm not married. I was a young girl. Like I didn't want to just spend the most money I've ever spent ever in life and not be knowledgeable about it. So I went to every class I could possibly find. And I just really locked in. Once I felt like I knew what I was doing, I went to a lender. I kind of you lay out your financials. They tell you how much they're willing to loan you, and then that's when you hit the street. You find something that's within your budget. I worked with a family friend who was a realtor, but you can find, use word of mouth. You can find realtors online. But I would just say being really diligent, like not giving up, being patient, persevering. Those are all like key things because it's not easy. Like you can ask anybody who's like a first time buyer. It is not an easy process. But once it's done, you're like, period. Like you can do that shit again and again and again and again. And that's what I'm kind of like aiming to do with Buy Back the Block. Like I'm really focused now on buying property in like historically Black communities or minority communities and building them up and like putting forth like resources and equity in there or having affordable housing. That's like my ultimate goal is to have like affordable housing complexes. But yeah, it's really important to just like, you don't have to go to the nicest neighborhood to buy property just because someone told you that like, oh, the property value is low over there. We'll never change the landscape if we don't like build it up ourselves. And so that's my goal. I'm looking to buy in basically to thwart gentrification, like because anybody could have bought the property where I bought it at. Like it could have been anyone, and I'm just happy that I kept it kind of in the family, the people who sold it to me were Black. So I just feel like I'm really paving the way and like laying the groundwork to stop gentrification and really like take back our communities. So yeah,
come on, girl. Taking down. Let them know you coming in there, okay? Buying the block.
But into the second, and I need to pay my mortgage, but like I don't want. I just
let the people know
how
old you were buying that property.
Yeah, so my birthday, I bought closed on like December 17th last year, so I was 24. I turned 25 like a month later. I was 24. Whew.
I'm loving that.
Y'all don't understand. That was so stressful.
That is just motivation itself. And I love the fact that when I did listen to you talk about it, like you were like, yo, I went home. I seen how much I was paying for rent. Said this does not make sense. Ended up, stop going out. Made sure you was cooking at home. That's taking care of your business. Okay. That's definition of taking care of your business and being so transparent about it. Because some people who want to stunt like, oh no, I did this, that, and the third. You're like, no, I went back home. So you're making it, you're allowing people to see the real transparency of how to go out there and get it and make it seem like everyone can do this. And we need more of us doing that so that we can have more in our communities. So I definitely praise you on that. That's definitely awesome.
And just also like shout out to my parents. I did purchase the home like on my own, all the money and stuff, but like they really gave me something that I felt is really invaluable, which is like just support and encouragement. Like I used to come home really defeated, like no one's accepting my offer. My dad would just tell me like, you can keep going, like keep pushing, you can do this. My mom was putting me in contact with like brokers and realtors. So they really are like, they played a really invaluable piece in like my whole process. And honestly, they didn't have to let me move back into their house. Like I feel like Black people sometimes we be like, you grown, you do it on your own. Like, I really needed that. I credit that wholeheartedly to how I was able to do it. So shout out to them. And when y'all have kids, let them live with y'all so they can get their shit together.
You heard that. And that's on that. Now listen, Amanda, let's get back to buying Black the Block. You're dedicated to buying properties in Black communities and striving to reach a goal of 100 doors.
Yes.
So elaborate on this brilliant concept. And do you want to only buy in California or other areas?
So, okay, so elaborate on buy Black the Block. It kind of is just like a play on words. You know, when the George Floyd kind of thing happened in 2020 and all these corporations were like taking up arms over racial and social inequity and injustices, like buying Black and shopping small, and Black businesses were like keywords. They were like themes at the time. But it was something that I had been like pushing for a while, and maybe not pushing outwardly, but like being really intentional, like shopping in my local community, like shopping with my friends who like have crafts and have services. So it's really like buy Black, right? But then the block piece is where you get into the equity and like the land and the property piece of it. So it's kind of like a play on words. Like, we should be buying Black the Block as far as real estate goes, but also if you can't, or as well, in addition, like shopping small and shopping local and like shopping with your friends. I think it's just overall, I'm just really into like financial literacy and economic kind of like development. I work in banking, have always worked in banking. So there's like that lens on it a little bit as far as just like economic development and urban development. With those, I think with those two pieces, like we could really move the needle as far as like just Black progress and like Renaissance. But yeah, so like small businesses and real estate are really like drivers of our economy. And so the buy Black the Block is kind of like a play on words to incorporate all of them.
And I love the fact that I love that I got you to elaborate on this, right? Because you brought up a really nice piece of, if you can't even buy property, that's okay. Let's buy Black from ourselves. Like, let's do that. So you're at least giving people that initiative of saying, you know what, I can't do this right now, but I can do this, which just makes me still part of the community. So I do like that.
Exactly. That's all it is. Like, you do what you can, you know, like it's not for everyone. A lot of people have extenuating circumstances. You know, they might take care of a sibling or like a parent. Like, everyone is running their own race, and I don't want it to be like, oh, you need to be doing this. Like, that's not what I'm pushing at all. But we need to be supporting our community as much as possible, even if that means just going to the candy lady down the store who's like an auntie and has, you know, is taking care of whoever. Like, we need to be uplifting and supporting as much as possible. So
love it. So now we're going to go to our game segment. And Amanda, so this is our game segment. This is your scenario. You have all the money, all the time, and you get to pick your team. So what would be your ideal project you would like to build from start to finish? And what celebrities would you like to bring on your team to make this project come to life?
Okay. It's not multiple choice. It's like fill in the blank.
Nope. It's just your vision of what you actually want to do in this world. And who would you want to bring on celebrity-wise?
Project, and then what celebrities you want to bring on?
To bring that project to life.
Okay, got it. Well, obviously, you know, I'm into real estate, so it's probably gonna land somewhere in real estate. I think new developments are really fire, and it's something that I've been like looking into a little bit more. I personally, like I was saying, like I really want to have affordable housing complexes in like local communities. So I would want to do that. I would want to build affordable housing complexes. As far as celebrities I would bring on, I really love what Killer Mike is doing in Atlanta. So I would definitely want to bring him on. Who else is in real estate? I know for a fact that Cardi B will be down for the cause, just as far as like affordable housing. I know she grew up in like a public housing complex, and like her and Offset are into real estate. So Killer Mike, Cardi B, and then I need Michelle Obama on my board of directors, okay? Just so that there can be some type of like child care, like community center, like on the lower level. That would be fire. She's really into like youth development and stuff, especially during her time as First Lady and like in her book. So yeah, I would go with those three. And like, look how well-rounded that is. Like, we have Black women, Latino women, Black men,
Come
like we
on.
full circle kind of like team. That would be fire.
You did that. You put together a dope team. Go ahead. Go off. So now let's get into your lash line. Like I tell you, you got many, many facets of things you do, honey. Okay, so is that collection on your eyelid right now? Let's go ahead
I'm
and
like,
shout it out. Come
y'all go
on, come on. So you are the co-founder of Collection, a line that you have with your first cousin,
yeah.
keeping it in the family. So I want to bring in your public relation expertise. You gave a breakdown on your passion to brand Collection, your lash line that you co-found. And with branding, you mentioned you created a tagline called Luxury Lashes, no, Luxury Lifestyle Lashes. So
Mhm.
as a PR professional, could you tell our viewers why it's so important to have a tagline and why you picked Luxury Lifestyle Lashes to be yours?
Yes, good question. Yeah, so I do work in PR for those of you that don't know. And I do have an eyelash line. It's called The Collection. I'm wearing them right now.
Come
Y'all go
on,
check
sis.
it out. It's at The Collection, 2 N's underscore on Instagram. But it's really important to brand your business outside of just like logo or name, because that's really how you show up in the world. For us, the collection is a broad kind of name. Like when you say the collection is just, okay, a collection of what? So it was important for us to explain basically what we do in business without having to give a full elevator speech, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the collection, Luxury Lifestyle Lashes, you know what we're selling. And those 3 words, obviously the alliteration is like catchy to the eye, so the 3 L's. And then also, we really are pushing a lifestyle beyond lashes. If you go to our page, you'll see like all of our lashes are named after luxury hotels in both LA and Chicago. That's where my business partner is from. And so it was really a way to like tie them all in. Luxury being like, that's what we kind of want to embody. You find your own luxury, that you find it in self-care, you find it in shopping, you find it in doing nothing, Netflix. Like you determine your own path and what true luxury means to you. Lifestyle, and that we got some other things coming outside of lashes. And really like creating the lifestyle that you want to live. Like if you seek to live a luxurious lifestyle, that's what you're into. And then lashes, obviously, that's the product that we sell right now. But it's really important. I wish more businesses did brand their products, because sometimes I go to people's page and like there's so much going on. I'm like, I don't know what's supposed to be grabbing me right now. And so I think the tagline is just really good to center and refocus, because we have a lot of noise. Like consumers have a lot of noise. Everything is attention grabbing. So you kind of like want to center them so that they know, how they're what am I here for? Like, what am I buying?
Yeah. I love the breakdown when you broke it down, just like you did just now. Because I was like, wow, like you want to provide this luxury with lash in within the company. And I was just like, oh, that's amazing. And how you did the whole cities with the hotels. I was like, okay, I see this. I see the storytelling here. We're putting it all together. And
Exactly.
then you also said about your gold and black colors. It
Yes.
serves that elegance, luxury. So you're giving everything you want your consumer to receive. And that
Exactly.
is very important in PR. So I was just like, okay, I see you, Amanda. Come on. Let's go, girl. You're doing it.
And our packaging kind of really reflects that too, keeping with the black and the gold colors. Our packaging is kind of like you open the box, there's like a big thank you letter on top. There's like if you get a box, you get a free spoolie, a free tweezer. The
Nice.
tweezers are golds, like really pushing the lifestyle and luxury piece. Obviously, the product is a lash, right? Like you can go get lashes, but really pushing that in the packaging and the tagline and kind of our brand voice overall too.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So now let's get back to On Sweet Life, Los Angeles. You did a collaboration with your best friend, Thailand, and that was for the listening party for PJ's artist,
Yes,
Griff.
actually.
Yes, I seen PJ pulled in too. What it do? What it do? Now, the listening party looked amazing and I loved the venue. Like it was Great. As a PR professional, what was your tasks and duties to make this event be so successful?
Yeah. Well, yeah, so shout out to PJ and shout out to his artist group, Tyler. Um, Both Tylin and I threw a kind of like live performance installation, and that was to really welcome him, the artist Griff, into his city and release his new single. Um, and so it was really cool to work with, first of all, friend. I'm super big on partnership. I'm an only child, so I don't be liking to do stuff alone. So
Oh,
I'm super on partnership. Tylin kind of took lead on like look and feel. You know, she does events like we want this here, there. I was more so tasked with like what we want the takeaway moments to be, like what is our publicity value after the event. And so the installations that you see of like the different installations of like the wood and the dunes and kind of those touch points, like people are still posting pictures in those areas. And so that was really cool. On the show, there's a picture, or Griff Tyler did a recreation of Kobe Bryant's like
mm-hmm.
legendary picture of holding the championship trophy. And so it was a championship parade. So we kind of orchestrated him recreating that and giving that like one an ode to LA, but also just emphasizing that like he's here and like he's here to stay. It's kind of after the championship, he is running his laps, kind of. And so that was a really good moment. I think that was really fire. And then overall, like regular PR, like guest list, the stuff that's not so fun, right? Like guest list, behind the scenes, making sure things run smoothly, making sure there's like sound check, photogs, like all those like smaller pieces. But overall, it turned out to be a really great event. It looked amazing on TV. So shout
Yes.
out to Thailand. But and shout out to PJ and Griff, they killed it. But yeah, it was a really fun event, and it was one of my first kind of industry, like music industry type of PR events. I worked in corporate primarily, and I've had some other like small business clients separate from my job, but first time ever working with like an artist in like music industry. So it was new, but it was really fun.
Oh man, yeah, you guys did amazing. Yes, it looked really good. I was like, wow, this is really impressive. This looks nice. And it was a good turnout too. So, yes,
Yeah.
congrats on all you guys for that. So, since you're thriving in your career in PR, could you give our viewers some marketing strategies or tips they can use to better their product?
Yes. So in PR, I think that first thing for me is influencer marketing. It is a underrated field of spin off like piece of marketing right now. I think that people should put a lot more budget into it, especially if you have a product that is like an everyday product, like a product that people can buy from anywhere. I think influencer marketing is really important. Like, for example, nail polish. Like, you could buy 1,000 nail polishes. But if your influencer or the person who drives you uses a certain one, like that is where you'll really create value for your brand. So I think influencer marketing is really important and putting budget towards that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a traditional PR girl, so getting media and media value and media clips is traditional media is kind of a lost art, but I think that there's true value in it as far as when you go to a person's website and you go to the press tab and you see that they've been featured in magazines and blogs and this and the third. To me, that makes me seem like, okay, this is a reputable company. It's not just, they hopped on Instagram and started selling. So I'm a traditional media girl. I'm for that. Hire a publicist. And also, and this is something that I need to do a better job at, you are your brand. And so the way
Mm-hmm.
yourself is also the way that your brand will be positioned. So, just always keep that in mind as far as like your social media voice goes, the way that you take a position on a political topic, a health topic, that can really impact you. Like that can really impact not only you as a person, but also your brand. Consumers now are a lot more focused on what a brand's values are and what their kind of social views are, and so that's really important. Like you know, protect your brand at all costs because you are your brand. So protect yourself. And yeah, just don't be moving wild out here. Like, it's not a good look.
Thank you for those tips. Thank you for those tips. I definitely want to get that for people that want to get into PR or are already in PR and they wanted to add some more things to their book. Now, Amanda, I wanted to ask you, I know you have a manager, but do you have a publicist?
I I am working on it. So I'm gonna tell you full transparency. I have someone in my mind because I'm a publicist. I have someone
Mm-hmm.
in mind that I know I want her to be my publicist. I am waiting on the green light from her. And so in my mind, I'm just like, I want no one else before her. Like my mind is set on her. Um, and she is amazing. She is a 10 out of 10. Like she's a shark. She's amazing at her job. Like so amazing. And I really want her. So I guess right now I don't, but I'm courting. I'm courting someone.
Okay, and I asked this because since you are in PR, I wanted to know what type of things are you looking for your publicist?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Yeah, I'm looking for someone with tenacity, someone who's not afraid of being told no, because that comes with the job. Honestly, like people will tell you no in a heartbeat.
Yes.
I'm someone who can find story in everything. Like
Mm,
has a story. It's just the way that you build it and the way that you kind of package it. So I'm looking for someone who is already really great at finding story. Um, I'm really big on, I personally, just because like I'm such a regular person, like, yeah, I'm on TV or whatever. I'm not really looking to build, I'm really looking to build with someone. Like, I want to
mhm.
build from the ground up with someone. So I'm not really looking for anyone that's like overly connected or like has all these like brands that they're in touch with. I mean, that's cool and like that's helpful, but I'm really looking to build out strategy from the ground up. So I'm looking for some small people who are hungry, who want to work, who understand my point of view, people who get it. Those are the kind of things. But the main thing is like the tenacity. Like I need you to be a shark for real. Especially like I'm learning the entertainment industry and stuff now,
Mhm.
and it's like even worse. So for sure.
Okay, now is this person someone that is a person that's big on social media or like someone that you personally know that is that you want to be that person for you?
I you mean my person.
Yeah,
Oh
the
no, they're
person that you want.
they're like a person that I know personally.
Got it.
They're like they don't have like a huge following or nothing, which is okay. Like that is
Well, yeah.
okay.
I like the fact that you said that you're willing to build up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just want to, I guess, kind of jump in and be like, "Hey, I'm here," but it's nice that you want to take that level of we can build. You know, we're both building, and we can kind of sharpen each other's tools here. So that's really, really nice.
Iron sharpens iron, honestly.
Here we
And
go.
looking at
There.
tapping. It's hard to be your own publicist too. Like it sounds good. I'm just like, okay, yeah, like I could do this, but it's really not. It's really
Of course, it's a lot put on you, especially because you're already doing a lot. So
yeah.
taking on that would maybe it's already enough what you're doing. You're doing a lot, girl. So definitely. Um, Now, lastly, you talked about your 25th year being such a pivotal year for you because it sparked so much change, so much growth, so much transition. In a nutshell, could you provide us what you feel was that catalyst to that growth?
That's a good question. I'm still 25, so my birthday's in January. I'm 25 right now. It's like I bought the house in January and we started filming January, late January. And that filming a show, like being on a show is really like a mirror. Like you're really watching yourself in real time. And so there were a lot of pieces of me that I had to explore, like learn for the first time. Whether that be in friendship, whether that be in familial relationships, in my romantic relationship. There was a lot of like difficult conversations that I had to have that I wouldn't have had if it weren't for the show, or would have come at a much later time. So I definitely feel like filming the show was like a very pivotal moment for me at year 25. I also just like, I kind of feel like I shedded a new layer. Like I really stepped into grown womanhood at age 25. I don't know. I don't know if that's just like me being in touch with like the ancestors or like, or, you know, but I just really felt like a new sense, like the things that I used to be mad at, I'm not mad at anymore. Things that I used to slide, can't slide anymore. It was just a lot of revelation and like realization for me. Definitely in year 25. And it's like every month was like something new. And I'm really happy. Like as the year is coming to a close, I'm happy with the woman that I've kind of like morphed into. It was definitely rough. Oh my gosh, rough. And girl, rehabbing. So buying the house, okay. Repairing the home and like rehabbing the home really tested my faith. That I really did have to grow up then because it was a lot of things that I didn't know. And I'm a person who am just like, yeah, I know that. Or like, I can Google it, I can ask someone. But there really is, you won't know, until you do it. And so I had to learn the hard way a lot this year. So that was really pivotal for me.
I love that. I love the transparency, and I love that. What I get from that is fall in love with the journey and fall in love with the process, because you don't know what's going to be in the in between. You just got to be ready for whatever. So
Exactly.
that's good that 26, you're getting around to 26 in January, and that you feel like, hey, you know what, I'm doing it. So these experiences now have taught you what to keep doing, and it's being persistent and having that faith like you had. So that is awesome.
Exactly. Thank you, girl. Thank you.
No problem. So, I do want to say that, I understand that the grind isn't easy and you're doing a million things. And definitely, I was already going to talk about season two, but I want to congratulate you again on season two. We are excited to see what Amanda has to offer and everybody else. Because we got an amazing Black cast that are doing big things. So we are excited to see. And could you let everyone know where to follow you, where to find you, if they don't know already?
Yes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure you tune in. Season two, Sweet Life on Max just got greenlit, so we're back again. You can catch me on Instagram and TikTok at Amanda Said So _ and on Twitter at Amanda Lauren, 2 A's, 2 N's. And I'm not really on Facebook. Don't find me there, but catch me there. You can follow the collection, 2 N's _ and yeah, stay on the lookout because we are coming to a screen near you very soon.
Period. And one thing, I did have someone jump in the question box. Shout out to Tiffany, and she wants to know, how do you stay so consistent on your grind?
Oh my goodness, it is a journey. Like it is a journey. I get a lot of support and just like encouragement from my friends and from my boyfriend. Because there are some days where I'm like, I literally can't. Like, I can't. And I'm learning in year 25, I'm learning that like self-care days and rest are really important. So sometimes I really will take a day where it's just like, I can't do anything. Like, I have nothing. But then the following day is like a day where I can knock, a lot of things out. So definitely taking time to rest because trying to work with a clouded mind is like, wouldn't recommend. Definitely taking time to rest. And then also journaling. I've been journaling to just like get the thoughts out and like trying to really lock in on what the priorities are, because like you said, I have a lot of things going on, and a challenge of mine is like prioritizing, and so journaling has really helped with that. So rest, journal, and I
Self-care.
don't know. Self-care, yeah.
That's what you
Just
said.
lock in.
Self-care.
So I seen a tweet one time that said sacrifice, once you realize that sacrifice is the same thing as success, you'll look at things differently. And I try to remind myself of that often. So
I love it. I love it. And Tiffany loved what you said. She's doing her self-care as well. So again, Amanda Scott, it's been a pleasure to interview you. I can't wait to see what else you have to offer. So keep being amazing and pressing on next, okay?
Thank you so much.
And buy back that block. And I'm with you, sis, because I'm getting into real estate too. So don't worry about it. I'm going to be helping you cancel out that gentrification.
About your journey, hit me up.
Oh, no, seriously. We about to be connected. Don't worry about it.
For sure. Please do.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Hey guys, this is Zetta. Thanks for checking out our Media Conversation series episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And watch the rest of our Media Conversation videos only on Black Girls in Media.